All right, we're back now. I hope this is better. Okay, this is so much better. All right, guys, so we're back now. For those of you who missed the story, some lady sent me a story. It says, Daddy Freeze, you're always siding the girls. Sorry, the men. Now, do I know what she went through? Her UK husband used all their resources, got another mortgage on their house, and used it to build a house and a business in Nigeria, only for her to go to Nigeria to pay the husband a surprise visit. And she found a pregnant woman who already had one child for him living in the house with him. She said waiting pain her pass be say the woman say she go beat him, and the woman big pass him. So fear can't catch him, she can't run, leave the house because she's smallish in stature. She said, Daddy Freeze, what do I do? What do you do? They don't serve you water, abi woto, abi how did they take talk that thing? So, if you're a woman, I know say God don't show you strong thing for the abroad. This now your opportunity to come and talk your story so that you no go be like say now only man that the Freeze they sign, abi they support. If you're watching on TikTok, share the video, share the video, share the video. Somebody say count your losses and move on. It's easy to say. Easier said than done. Somebody say run. No. That's so easy to run. If now you go run. Olubumi Abike, come and join the live. Sorry, now you not come. Come and share your life. I'll be your story. You will not run now. It's not men now. If I say men, come and share your story. See the way men go full here. Tell you waiting there. Don't see. You don't even get data to share story. Our people did this live. Make I remove them. You don't know what they find. If I say men, come and remove your story. Go see us everywhere go full now. One guy don't talk, say good morning, sir. Especially abroad men. Hey, abroad men, they suffer for woman hand. One policeman and even come talk saying go come report waiting don't see as policeman. Say fear go catch me. Brown chocolate bean, you don't send me request. I added you the other time. I'm adding you again. If you no come this live, come talk better thing, I go block you. Can you please put on your light? Hello? Someone said that showman is getting worse. You send me a request. I've accepted you. This one, Destiny Natumumu. No sales person no get ahead. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Men they suffer. For abroad, men they for Nigeria, women they suffer. But for abroad, someone said network is getting bad. Network, okay. Well, if network do me any strong thing today, I go don't leave and go sleep. I don't get network problem. I don't get network power today. Network they okay now. Hey, true network.
Network is getting bad. Network, okay. But now if network do any strong thing to that, we don't leave our go sleep. I don't get network problem. I don't get network power today.
Oh, the network true, no, they got Instagram, man. I don't know where Mark Zuckerberg go put her things. I don't know who they owe money. Network is struggling. And it was not like this before, so I don't know what happened. And all the other networks are fine. And they don't go apologize, give anybody. Women, do you want to share your story or should I bring men? Because it is cry that people will be crying now. Fact. Iberi.
Jehovah Lord, Daddy freeze.
Where are you?
Daddy freeze is freezing. I just they come back from work like this. I don't know, my car don't want to start. All these stupid sensor thing.
Where is your car? Let's see your car.
They tell me say the key is not key. Hold on, let me make her bring out the key, use them open them. The remote not they give. Whether I call they worry the car, no know it's in the worry.
Okay.
They tell me for dashboard say key no day inside. It's just saying key not dictated.
Key not detected. What
yeah, I have the key with me.
What
it's Hyundai. It's Hyundai.
Hyundai. Show me the key.
See the key?
Yes.
Let me put it on it. I think it has happened before.
No.
So what I did is that's the key.
Okay, is it a push to start car?
It's keyless. Yeah, it's keyless.
Okay, there's a spot in that car where you put the key inside and it will start. What brand of Hyundai are you driving?
There's no spot in it.
Don't worry. Tell me, what's the name of your car? What's the name of your car? What year?
2014.
2014. Keyless. Won't start. We will solve them now. Don't worry.
Normally, I know it has done this before. So when I warm up the
you
key
need
a
to
little,
change the battery. But even if the battery is down, there's somewhere where you will hold it to start.
Yeah.
So you have to go back to the car.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go back to the car. We'll help you start it. Don't worry. I just need to. What's going on? Won't start. 2014 Sonata. There's a place inside that car where you hold the key and it will start. How long have you had this problem starting the vehicle? Do the lights?
The lights will even. Okay,
what's the message? What message?
It's back. Yeah, it just started. It's open right now. It's the weather. It affects the stuff sometimes.
Yes, I know, but you need to know where that sensor is. You just hold the key there to start.
I don't know. It's not started. Okay, just started.
Okay.
Now village people they find me today, this evening.
Now village people they find you.
Yes,
listen, Samantha, let me tell you something. All these keyless cars, they have somewhere. You just have to know where it is. You keep the key there, and it will start whether there is battery inside that key or not. It's somewhere in the cup holder.
They're supposed to have where you have to insert the key sometimes, right?
No, you don't need to insert the key. You just put the key on top of the sensor. Mm-hmm. Some have it in the cup holder. Some have it in the push to start button. Some have it on the side of the steering. You just have to know where that key is. Now, so you not suffer. Change the battery on that.
I don't know what carry him. Don't worry. This one I don't disturb him too much. Make him go rest, I beg. Then if you let him carry one of your own car.
For Yankee?
Don't carry one of your cars. We'll use this one for now till I get it sorted out.
Come carry on. Yeah. Now, as they go walk, tell us. Men don't suffer you before for that America where you did.
Suffer me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when I had somebody I was living with, I went through worse In fact, if there's any word you can use to describe suffer, he passed that one. I went through worse things than that.
What did he do to you?
Ask what didn't he do to me? He did everything doable. But it's in the past now.
Good evening, Daddy Freeze.
Good evening, brother. I'm listening to you, Samaria. Finish your story. I want to know exactly what he did. It's not fair when men do all these kind of things.
He's supposed to be, what didn't he do? I think I've said little about it before. I don't want to be bringing up that thing because it's traumatic. I'm still going through counseling till date. Bringing about it traumatizes me, to be honest with you. I don't like to talk about it because I really went through a lot. I went through a lot that till date I still pass through. I still suffer the emotional, the PTSD still. I think it still affects me till date. And all those, that's why I usually tell people, when people tell you love, most love end up being abusive. Obsession is a bad thing. Obsession is a very terrible thing. Obsession leads to abuse, whether anybody likes it or not. And should any man come around me and show any sign of obsession, any slightest sign of obsession now, I pick race, I run. Initially, I used to mistake it as love, but it's not love. It's dangerous because it would lead to abuse.
What are some of the things he did to you?
Daddy Freeze, do you know what it means to swear on your innocence every day? Go carry Bible, they swear every day, they swear on your innocence. I mean, how possible is it that somebody is with you, somebody doesn't go to work, the person is not working, the person can't even take a walk in the complex? You know how you live in an apartment, can't even go downstairs and take a walk without him around, without him. You can't even, you understand, even when you go to a store, do you believe that as grown as I am, that a man would lock me up in a car when I go to a store with him because he doesn't want people to see me? Insecurity. You go to a park. You know how you go to a park with your family? You go to a park just because you saw it look like Africans are playing ball there. You just make a U-turn. You get to a store. I was supposed to go to a pawn store and sell my jewelry. He had to go in there to go and supervise the place. And then when he came out, he told me, okay, you cannot go in. And just because as I was trying to drop the baby and get off the car, one guy, came by and parked his truck. I didn't see the guy, but as soon as he was like, you know what, let's go to T-Mobile office, we'll come back later. That was when I turned and saw that somebody had just driven into the same car. And it was because of that guy who made a turn. He goes to African store, I will be in the car, or he will go and make sure the place, the moment he sees Nigerians in there, especially Nigerians, they have so much inferiority complex when it comes to Nigerians. The moment he sees Nigerians there, or any Nigerian, in fact, the male gender, let's go to another place. That's if I ever go with him. I don't even go with him. A lot of insecurity issue. That somebody will wait for you on the staircase and you walk past, and then you say thank you to the person. It's not like, oh, you're not having an affair with the person. Why must you exchange greetings with the person? All this unnecessary insecurity rubbish thing. You will even go as far as sometimes you will even disconnect the internet in the house just to make sure, or because you're thinking I'm going to get on the phone while you are out of the house. A lot of insecurity. You decide to go with me right now.
Go through a lot, too.
You decide to go with me now. The next thing you'll be like, the picture you shared on social media. Because he was even coming to social media to go and fight my Facebook friends. He will go to comment section and he'll be writing and tell them
Nigerian man.
Yes. You come and tell them, why are you liking, why are you commenting on my wife's this thing? You should leave her alone for me.
How did you escape?
This one is a tip of an iceberg now. You come what's
physical with you? Did it ever get physical?
I've been through everything. I've been through everything. I've been through everything, I really have been through everything. How about cussing? You don't see where man they talk, where man they run mouth like women. Even women don't run mouth like that. A lot of insecurity. Why can't you be telling a woman every day to come and be naked and swear on her innocence before you do something for her? You don't let her do anything. At the same time, you're so insecure. You still humiliate her before your friends and before people.
Wow.
Oh, please. our men too, they do here. I'm not gonna lie to you. And what would the person do? Because you want peace. Because you just want to be a submissive woman. Because you don't want people to think it's your fault. You know, the thing is, most of us that look like we are too, you know, most of us that look like we are the, how do I put it, the ones that discuss, you know, those of us that, you know, like talk, that express ourselves. People seem to understand that we may not really be like that in physical. Most people be like, oh, you don't look like you're ever going to be submissive. But that's not true. I was submissive at the time when I was living with a man, because I knew if anything had gone wrong, I was going to get blamed. So for that reason, I was submissive.
But let me ask you a question. Was he ever physical with you? As in saying that?
He was somebody who slapped me when I was pregnant. He was everything. He was everything. He was everything. I didn't have peace of mind. Right from the hospital, right from when I gave birth. Somebody who made me tell myself that if I have to be pregnant and go through this again in my life, may I not even be pregnant in my life again. You know, you can imagine what would make a woman say a thing like that. I don't like to go into all this because it gets me upset with myself. It annoys me that I could allow myself to be subdued to such, you know, kind of, you know, maltreatment. It was too much.
Please, can I ask Samaria a question?
Go ahead, brother.
Okay, good evening, everybody. So, and all friends and family. So, Samaria, now, if you see another guy, what will you be looking out for in that man now, with all these things you've been through?
Okay, I'll give you a little story. I met this guy 2 years ago. And
after this one you were telling us before?
Yes, so I met this guy. That was last year. And he came to where I was with my friends. So when he came to where I was with my friends, I gave him the African food we had, because my friends and I, we went to a resort that Christmas time, and he's a white guy. To go out on my Apple Watch, he walked me to the store, he followed me to the store, and when it was time when we came back, I expected him to leave. Sorry, I just came in. He didn't want to leave. So I saw that he was too comfortable staying around me. I mean, my friends were already by the poolside. The kids were already playing because it was a family vacation we took. He didn't want to leave. So eventually he left. You know how you don't know how to tell somebody to leave. So he left. And the next thing I said to myself is, if someone don't come find me, don't go back. When you and I never do anything. If me and you begin dates, people easily get obsessed with me. That means you'll be in trouble. That means I'll be in trouble. So that was a red flag to me, right? So he started asking me, he's requesting to know where I live. I wouldn't live in my house. I had a little girl. I have a child. I mean, my space is my house is my, how do I say, you know, wherever it is I stay is my secret place. I have to keep it cool. So I just said to myself that in as much as he wouldn't go when he first visited where I was, that means if he gets to know where I live, he'll be coming to my house every day. But the cut the story short. So what happened was, one day I made a video. You know, normally I take pictures in my house, so I had shared one of the pictures, and then he saw it online, and he wrote me a message and said, "Oh, I thought you said nobody visits you. How come there's a picture of you in your house?" I said, "Yes, it was my neighbor, my friend, that took me the pictures." He said, I said, "Yes." So after like 2 hours, he came again. And then he wrote me a message. He said, "You know what? I've been thinking, this is somebody that we just on a talking thing." He said, you know what? I've been finding it difficult to believe that it was a lady that took you that picture. I said, "Oh, really? Okay, believe whatever you want." And then I went straight and blocked him. Boom. So you see how that thing can affect me now. I'm like, this one is already having issue believing what I said. You already have an issue with little things like this. So it means this is how it starts. Because I used to, when I met my ex that did what he did to me, I was gonna meet with this lady. There was this lady I met, a nurse. We were gonna hang out, just girls thing. And he insisted he was gonna go out with us. He told me if I have to go out with that lady, then he has to be there. So he would want to get involved in everything I do. I wasn't even allowed to have female friends. If I have to have any female friend, he must be in the middle. And he would take me wherever I needed to go. And I mistook all those things to be love.
You know, sometimes it is love. Because let me explain something to you. All that female friends coming to take women out. I see them with my ex, and I know the kind of stuff that thing they bring. I see them for my mama. I see them for my ex. Because I was a kid back then, and I used to hear the way. Are you listening, Samaria?
Yes, sir.
I used to hear the way my mom's friend used to advise her. You understand? And now from when I small, now I don't realize, say, friend, one of the reasons why I like taste buds is, you know, they carry friend up and down. One of the reasons. A lot of guys also feel insecure with their wives or their girlfriends' friends. And I don't blame them. We need to be very honest.
I don't believe when we are just meeting. I didn't say when we are
No. When you are meeting, you get to understand them. But once you start dating seriously, you need to start putting your foot down and setting borders. Friends can be very, very dangerous. Friends sometimes feel that as your husband don't enter or your boyfriend don't enter, he must be loyal to them or he must pay homage to them. You understand? With my ex, I used to be a little bit more lenient back then. I'll say, it doesn't really matter. It's nothing serious. By the time my eye open, I know they won't hear anything. Where are you taking my wife to? You understand what I'm saying? Where are you taking my wife to? Where are you going with my wife? And I also, if I have any friends, I always make sure I bring my wife there. So if I have friends, if you invite me, I'll just know that I'm coming with my wife. And if you invite my wife, just know that I'm coming. If it's not convenient for the two of us, we are not going. Sometimes it's annoying. But if your eye don't see waiting me, I don't see inside friend.
But this one is different. This is the lady I met.
No, I understand where you are coming from.
Yeah.
This guy is clearly toxic. I don't have a problem with, let me give you an example. I don't have a problem with my wife working with boys. All her staff are men.
Yeah.
Because initially I was like, no, get women. Why do you? I nearly run mad for like the first 2 months where she hire a woman. Woman will go deliver something. On her way back, she go put makeup, man go toast them. She will take her time. When we nearly run mad, I just noticed that gradually she transitioned from women to men. So before you knew it, all her staff, 98% of her staff, suppliers, I think maybe 10% are women. For this food business, you won't do food business. Then you will cook for men. You understand?
Apparently, that is what floats our boats.
Do you understand? You will cook for men, whether you like it or not. Nevada Bridge TV. I met him through Taste Buds. He was trying to reach me forever. He couldn't get in touch with me. He reached out to Taste Buds. Taste Buds catered to one of his events, and then through him, I met her. Or through her, I met him. So at the end of the day, yes. And then your wife is also going to have some friends. Your wife's also going to have some friends that are wholesome.
Blocking me off from my family.
No, that's not.
Somebody will have to block you off from your family. You want you to
block you also have to understand that. Hold on. You also have to understand that there's also toxic family.
Not my family, Daddy Freeze.
I'm very lucky
I don't have toxic.
Let me give you an example of something, right? I don't know. It's crazy to talk about these things online, but let me just put little about it. So one time I was preparing my morning around 3 a.m. and my family chat was, messages normally. I'm the last child. I lost my mom when I was 7 years old. I have 5 sisters. They're all married with kids. My immediate gave me 5 years. And they're all married. So I have my these are like my big sisters. Right. Okay. So when I was making that, my sister saw me online and she was like, "Woman, you don't still sleep?" I said I was cooking. I said I was making my mind so that I go fit see some way go work in the morning. She was like, They do this one for marriage, because any day when you stop them now, Wahala will start. Not like for my, they do this one for Bodo Yibo, something of that nature, right? So I'm like, well, at the moment I'm not working and I'm in the house. I nap, so I have time to do this now. So that was it. So I would packet his food in the morning when I wake up. I'll packet his food, put everything, put snack, put whatever, paper towel, spoon and everything in the bag, and he would go with it to work. So I was doing that. So I realized that my pregnancy progresses. I started waking up, like I would stay up at night and then I would start sleeping in the morning. And don't forget I wasn't working. So what I would do is I would just bring out a bag, keep the bag on the table, put the water, the fruit, whatever in it, then put the food itself in the fridge. I mean, I have to start putting it at night. I don't have to wake up and do it in the morning anymore because I may be asleep. So one morning he woke up, he was just throwing tantrum like a baby, lamenting from one place, making noise, He left. So when he left that morning, he called me on the phone. I didn't pick because I was praying. So I rang him back. He said, "Did I see the message you sent me?" I said, "The message." I said, but I saw the message. He said, "Oh, what he's trying to tell me is whenever I'm putting food for him in the morning, whenever I'm putting food for him at night, I should put everything in a bag before putting it in the fridge. That in the morning it takes him time to just bring out the food and put it in a bag and leave." I'm like, boo. But when you wake up in the morning, which I see, you press your phone for like how many minutes, 10, 15, 20 minutes before you jump down from the bed to go get ready for work. He said, because if he jumps down from the bed like that, he's going to have some kind of dizziness, he may faint. I said, okay, I've heard you. That was what I said for case end. So when I was talking with my sister, a few days, I was, we're just talking generally, I was trying to, a few things that were happening in the marriage. She said, but she told me that there are things, the hand you are going is not the way, because if you stop it, it's going to be a problem. You shouldn't be doing most of these things. You agree to everything. That was her. Then I have another sister. That's my sister, one of them in UK. I have another one in Canada. And she's a vicar's wife, like English, she's a pastor, like stuff like that, like all this pastor thing. So when I was talking to her, that one is so blunt. She was like, "So what is the big deal there? If you say put it in a bag and put it in the fridge, so he will just bring it out and go. Do it like that. However, whatever he says, don't you know how they prepare children's lunch box? Do it like that. That was what my big sister said." So what am I trying to say? Most things that would happen, I wasn't just speaking advice. I'm the only one here. I don't have any family in America. I don't have any family in the whole of America, just me. So to them, and being the last child, baby of the house, no sister would want you to leave your marriage. So they did everything they could do to make sure that it worked. So they would even side him for peace to reign.
Hold on. I have to chip in here. To be very, very, very honest with you, no man likes it when their relationship is discussed with family.
I know.
Whether good or bad.
That's right.
Don't talk about me to your family. If you talk about me to your family, you create insecurity.
That's right, Daddy Freeze. But Daddy Freeze, don't also forget that this principle is not applicable to everything. Already, I was already beginning to see shaggy. Why with this person? So it's
okay.
And for somebody who was pregnant, who had a lot of emotions going up and down, who didn't have any friends to talk to, who would I have spoken to? My family was the only source, the only place, and they knew the condition I was in. And if there's anything, they will have to make sure that it works. As the last child, they groomed me. As the baby of the house, whose mom passed away at 7 years, they were the mother I had. So they had to put me in the right spot. They had, I mean, you understand what I'm saying?
I love the way you describe your family. The way you describe them it shows that they look out for you. But why would you think your friend will want to block you from them?
Which friend? Oh, my friend would want to block me. That's it. But the same person who didn't want me talking to my family would call the whole world, call his exes before me to talk about every slightest thing that happens in the same family. The same person was the same person that I knelt down and I pleaded with, can you please stop? And funny enough, it's not like it's behind, it's right before me. And then I would plead with you, can you please stop involving people? That was even before I started involving my family. Can you please stop involving people in our matter? And then he told me, oh, then I have to stay away from my family for him to do that. So, you know, and to tell you that even though those things were happening, even when he would cuss my family out, when he's in a good mood and any of them is on the phone, he will still start laughing and start calling that one, oh, is that our sister? Is our sister there? And they will still laugh back at him and act like it never happened. You know?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, in America, you see, as a man, you need to stand on your 2 feet and balance. Because if you don't do that, see, the women here, they are very, very clever. They are very, very clever. And if you don't stand on your feet financially, physically, mentally, and spiritually, you will be a man complaining about everything that a woman is doing to you. America is a very competitive place. That is the way they built it. In America, you see a woman driving a truck, a man is driving a truck.
That's right.
You see a woman paying house rent. You see a woman paying house rent, a man is paying house rent. So you need to meet up with expectations as a man. If you don't do that, you will be swept off your feet in America.
But hold on a second. If the man is not, why would somebody? I mean, I don't really believe that everything must come from a man. If I'm doing better than you, or if I'm getting paid more than you do, that doesn't change anything in the family. It doesn't change the way I feel about you. It doesn't change the respect or whatever I have for you. It doesn't.
Everybody don't see it like that, my dear.
No,
in
I'm
America.
agreeing with you. This is me for real. It doesn't change anything. The only thing that will change something is when there is disrespect. When disrespect, because in as much as a man requires respect, a woman needs to be respected as well. This is where our men get it wrong. Our men feel that they are the only ones that deserve to be respected. But we all deserve to be respected as well. You asked me a question that all the things that I've experienced, that what are the impacts in my today's life? The impact in my today's life is that my peace of mind is my priority. There's anything I crave so much for now is my peace of mind. Any sign of stress, also, I'm running. I don't have time to express to start defending myself or trying to convince you. If I say that to you, if you have a lot of insecurity issues in your life, you go deal with it. If you are coming from, because let me be honest with you, you see all these heartbreaks that we went through or we've been going through as individuals. You see all these relationships break up left and right. They date this person, they date that person. The effect of it comes when you stay married. When you get married, that's when you see all those things start playing roles in your life. All those heartbreaks, all those experiences you think you have, all those you know how to discover when somebody's cheating and when somebody's not cheating.
Samaria, you know, marriage is one last thing that will come in between a man and a woman in America, because you see, if you don't take your time to study both parties, at the end of the day, if you rush in, you're going to rush out.
Exactly. But you know, it's not all about studying as well. Because
there are categories of women in America, and men are always looking out for the one that they can fit in with. You understand? So, so this is where the problem comes from. So if you don't match with that category of a woman that you are looking for, there is always going to be a problem.
That's true. But not just matching, because it's always difficult to be perfect. If you don't have that tolerance level, there is limit to everything. At least you should be able to collect a percentage. Where you keep your broom is not where the next person will keep that broom. It's not possible. There will always be differences. People that are related by blood have issues. Talk more of strangers, total strangers. It takes. If you're able to, tolerate those, certain things that are toleratable. I'm not saying you should go with your baggage or with all those, and go with your bad behavior and expect a man to tolerate you and say, this is my personality, this is my personality, this is my my sign. All these excuses we give. There's nothing like that. Put behind things you have to put behind. If you're able to tolerate 60%, that's fine. If you're able to, make do and train, in fact, find your own and train them the way you want. When you find yours, train her the way you want. Train him the way you want. Be patient in the training, because these behaviors we are not learned in a day. It took years to accumulate, so it will also take some time to get rid of. Please, what was your question, please?
No. I need to talk to you a little bit, Samaria, about all what you've been through, and you need to understand that sometimes men are suspicious for a reason. Some have probably seen their mothers cheat. Some have been in relationships where they've been cheated on. If you've ever been cheated on in a relationship, you can go crazy on the next relationship.
That's true.
Before I even start giving advice, please come and buy my stars, or come to Facebook and come and buy stars. Only one person, Nkechi Brown, is the only person that has bought stars for me. Inside all of you, 600 people watching on TikTok alone. How do you buy stars? Go to Facebook. Search for this account, Daddy Freeze, DADDYFREEZE. Okay? Click, go there, scroll down to today's video, and you will see how to buy stars. So all of you, stingies, come and buy stars now. Don't be stingy. Make I even hail you now small. So you see, Samaria, you need to understand that there were character traits I had with my ex that I don't have with my current, and there are character traits I have with my current that I didn't have with my ex. What am I trying to say is, every relationship leaves a mark on you. Especially if the relationship was especially toxic. With my ex will tell you that I used to fight her friends. But he said it's not true. I didn't start fighting her friends until late in the relationship. Let me give you an example. It's 11 o'clock, my ex is not in the house yet. And I go outside and her friend's Jeep brings her home. I'm going to have issues with that friend. I'm going to have issues with that friend. Why is your car bringing, do you understand? Why is your car bringing my wife home at 11 o'clock? It's not 7 o'clock. It's not 8 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. Do you understand what I'm telling you? I'm going to have issues with a friend. And I actually confronted the friend once, and we got into a serious fight. That's my ex and I. So you need to understand that when a man is coming from somewhere like that, he's going to be wary. I'm not just going to sit down and trust your friends. Now, you also need to understand that friends have this unwholesome bond. Some men can take it, some men cannot. Me, for instance, I cannot function in an abroad society. Why? I didn't go to school. If I'd been, maybe I did my undergraduate there, I probably would understand that, okay, this is how these people think. I only used to go abroad for 2 weeks max. I've never been abroad for more than 2 weeks before in my life. You understand? 2 weeks, 5 days, 10 days, max. So I don't understand how they live there. And there's a lot of women liberation. There's a lot of what they will tell you is toxicity. It's actually a man trying to protect his home or trying to protect his relationship. You understand? They want women to be free, to be able to have control. I understand, but you see, where do you push the borders of control, of freedom? Because you can't be in my house and be coming home at midnight and you are telling me it's normal. I will fight you. I will fight you. Why are you coming to my house at midnight? Do you understand? I've always said it. I don't like girls' night out. You can't come and carry my wife and say you are doing girls' night out. I don't take it. I will fight you. What are you? What is girls' night out? You want to hang out? Come and hang out in the house.
Exactly.
Because I've also seen growing up. I've also seen my mother taking the kids out innocently to a kid's place, and then all her friends are sitting down and they are bad-mouthing their husbands and giving each other advice on how to be more toxic than you already are. I saw it happen as a child. I can mention names of my mother's friends.
The people who give this type of advice, they trollette those things they will tell you not to trollette in their own home.
Thank you. Thank you. You know,
they will tell you, my husband,
there was one particular woman. There was one particular woman. Hold on. There was one particular woman who was my mother's friend growing up. I'm not saying my dad was a great husband, though. No, my dad had his flaws. But you see, my mother's friend helped exaggerate things. You understand? And then when they finally, now she's also divorced now. So you need to be very careful when you are going into a marriage. You need to be very careful with who you are getting married to.
So that phrase. This is my question, sir. How do you tell a matured woman the relationship between her and her friends? How do you tell somebody who is mature, maybe a friend you know from childhood or halfway of your life? How do you tell a woman how she's going to relate with her friends? Does that mean a man does not trust a wife's judgment?
You see, let me tell you something. I don't trust my own judgment, so I stay away from bad influences. I don't trust my own judgment. I'm a human being. I can be influenced. Why do you think being an influencer is a job on social media? You understand? It's like driving past a Coke billboard. You get thirsty. Imagine driving on the express. You've been driving for like an hour, then you see a Coke billboard. It just registers in your mind unconsciously. Wow, it would have been nice for me to take this Coke. That's how advertising works, by influencing you. So even at my age, I can still be influenced. So I have to be careful with the kind of company I keep. I have to be careful with the kind of things I allow myself to hear. You understand? There are some types of friends I don't like for my wife. Tojuboleka friends. Those friends that I want to come and... If she has a friend that gossips about somebody else, I have a problem with it, because that's how they will gossip about you to the next person.
Exactly.
I don't like neighborhood friends, as in we are in an estate, then you have a friend that is close to you that is too close. They go carry your matter, go where you don't want to make your matter rich. And when I stay in an estate, I gist with the people here and there, but I always try to maintain boundaries and borders. I'm very good at setting up boundaries and setting up borders. Now, we also have the possessive friends. The friends that will be dropping lines like, we've not really been seeing this our friend since you came into our life. If you're my wife's friend and you say that, I'm going to keep my wife away from you. That's toxic.
Honestly. Indirect.
That's toxic. What is are you married to her? Even family members, once they start saying, we're not seeing her because of you, just know that it's either they were exploiting her before. You understand? Either they were exploiting her before, and then you came in, so she doesn't have that much money to be given to them or that much time, because some family members can be toxic.
So what about if they are doing that to Jubole through telecommunication? How would you know? How do you cut that?
First of all, one of the reasons why I trust my own woman is when it comes to conversation, and the trust did not come automatically. It took a lot of time. I've seen her communications with people. She never puts me down. As a matter of fact, sometimes I'm the one that complains. I've never seen her complain to her friends or family about me. Do you understand what I'm saying? Sorry, it's Instagram that is messing up. I've never seen my woman complain to her friends about me. She never does. She doesn't like that kind of, oh, why is it like this? No. And as much as possible, she has a very supportive family. I'm lucky. That one I luck. You can marry a beautiful, wonderful woman that has a terrible family.
That's true.
And you can marry a bad, horrible woman that has a great family. You understand? So your wife's family, especially for men, now luck. You cannot determine it. And I believe it should be a deal breaker. You get the level of toxicity a family would have, it will be a deal breaker. Luckily for me, with most parts of my wife's family, I'm lucky. You understand? The most important person is the mother-in-law, father-in-law. Her father is late now, but her mother is alive and healthy, and we have a very healthy relationship. I'm a stubborn child, just as I am with my parents. That's how I am with other people's parents. So I know they hear word, but she tolerates me. She hears me out. She listens to me. She asks for advice. That's my mother-in-law. So I have a lot of respect for her. If she needs anything, I'm one of the first people to say, okay, she sometimes sends to me before she even sends to her daughter that, I need this, so how are we going to sort this? And she has a good head. You know, some people, you give them their money. Forget all these things. I know it sounds superstitious and all, but you get people where I know they give my money, she I not go give you. Because if I give you money, I will just notice I not go get. I'm sorry, but you know, but my mother-in-law, on the other hand, if you give her money, she has a good head. You know, some people, if I give you my money first time, I give my money second time, I go look you. If I just notice that period, things won't dry, I go wrong from you.
Yeah, but the spirit thing, that the priest are right. Is that the spirit lead?
You understand? I hate to be supernatural about it, but sometimes there can be some small spirit here and there involved with money. And sometimes you give some people money, you will experience drought. So those kind of people, it's not like I will not give them, but I will not give them willingly, because I feel look and say, this money where I won't give you, I go drink Gary on top of them now, JJ where I sit down before everything they work for my life. So my mother-in-law, on the other hand, if you give her, you just notice that things are just working out. I've actually dated a girl like that before, when I was younger. Her name was Sandra. Igbo girl, winch.
Sandra.
If she asks you for phone and you buy her the phone, if she asks you for phone and you give her phone, just know that that money of that phone will come in that week. If you give her, for instance, if she asks you for a phone of say 100K and you spend 100K, you will make like 105K. So unexpected.
I'm like that as well. There are girls like that. I'm like that.
Apparently she had some marine spirit thing that was going on. Trust me, this one gets spirit. Yeah, I know. The first time I see her, I tell her, say, you get spirit. She run. She not talk to me for like 1 month. Then after that, she finally started picking my call. She now told me, how did I know she had spirit? I said, I don't see her for your body. Forget, we said get small spiritual. And I tell her, the fact that she had, hold on. The fact that she had spiritual issues was not why. broke up with her. I dated her for a long time and I liked her. She had a bad attitude. That was my problem with her. She had a bad attitude. You understand? And I can't do bad attitudes. She had a bad attitude. She was immature. Oh, she was extremely beautiful. So a lot of guys, she had a lot of male attention. You understand? But she was also very ill-mannered. I couldn't deal with the manners. I think she talks anyhow, behaves anyhow. I couldn't just deal. One day I just woke up and broke up with her. So what am I trying to say to you is sometimes, even at the initial stage of my relationship, when my wife and her mother are talking, I would like to be listening to hear what they are talking about. When you now are over a period, maybe 1 year, 2 years, you now see that, oh, these people have your interest at heart. You understand? Sometimes my wife will even give me her phone and say, listen to what mommy is saying here. I'll just say, please tell me what she said. Break it down for me. Now, sometimes you have insecurity issues in a relationship. And here's what I tell people. Unless you are not willing to invest in a relationship. I've been in a relationship where I don't have insecurity because my mind knows the relationship. Do you understand? If you like, get 5 boyfriends. Me, I'm here to hit it. That's all I'm in the relationship for. Just bring the pull. That's all.
What you said this morning, Daddy Freeze, I'm not going to take it for granted because you said anybody can be influenced. 100% I agree with you. And you said your own judgment, you don't trust it. You see why I asked you that question, that how are we going to deal with this when it comes to true phone conversation? And you brought out the point that you've always noticed your wife never talk bad about you on the phone to anybody, and that gives you confidence. And that confidence was not built in a day. So now something happened. Why I ask you that question? A brother shared a story with us, and this African American woman has married an African guy from Sierra Leone before. So he got his green card through this woman, was going home, and anytime he went home, we spent like 6 months. He don't go marry another woman there. Long story short, the cousin broke the news to this African American woman that this your guy don't get 2 children for home. Why married to you? So, long story short, they divorced. After 9 years of being divorced, this African American woman made another attempt to marry an African man. In the course of doing that, this African brother that shared the story did not know that he was on a trial. And this is where a friend comes in. They had a very big wedding. They spent over $16,000 to that wedding. And at the end of the day, do you know that under 4 months, the mother of this woman died, and they had the burial on Zoom. So, do you know this woman started noticing that guy? And he said to this African American woman that this husband, I am not convinced that he truly loves you. And that was where this woman started paying attention to that guy. Long story short, do you know that this woman from Florida was the one that scattered their marriage?
Because he chose to allow them to scatter it.
So that is why I asked Daddy Freeze that question. They talk on phone. They do, according to that brother, according to his explanation, he said he manipulated my wife through the phone. And he came to spend just 2 days in their house. He spent just 2 days in their house. And it was continue to nail the man. And this woman.
And that was her father, right? Because you were breaking a bit. That's her father, Abby.
No, not the friend. The friend.
A wife's friend.
A wife's friend.
Yes.
That is a male.
A female.
No. A female.
A childhood female friend.
I'm also lucky. My wife has childhood female friends that are great. She has some of them that are not. I think it's only one of the. You see, my wife's friends are the kind of people that they have their own lives. They are busy. They don't have time to put their mouth in your matter. Even if you invite them, they don't really have that much time.
Exactly the point.
But there's always going to be that one or two. But to be very honest with you, I don't see as I'll have to be very wicked to my wife or her friend to sit down with her and influence her like on that level. Because there's a limit to which you to be wicked. That your wife will have no choice but to go and talk to somebody, and when they talk to that person, they'll be influenced.
That's right.
You too, in your own life, you have to, as a human being, you also have to be caring.
Daddy Freeze is a wise man. You are a wise man. Sorry, I've got you short, but you are. You see, this is the way you train your children. You make them your best friend. You communicate everything communicable with them. You don't withhold any information from them. You see, this is the same mistake most men make. If you don't make your wife, if you don't make your husband your best friend, a stranger will make them their best friend. And that's the influencing starts there. Secondly, when you're befriending people, try and befriend people who are happy people. You can't be friends with people who are not happy, who are bitter. Nothing good will come out.
Now, if you are in a relationship, help guide your spouse towards people who have like goals. You understand? One thing my wife will know is I don't like pushy people. Once I see somebody come to my house, oh, I want us to be doing this, I want us to be doing, I go run. I like people who understand that this is the flow of my life and they plug in. Not to people that this is the flow of your life. No, you need to do it like this. You are out of my life. You understand? And if they are my wife, luckily for me, my wife also does not like those kind of people too much. Now, I have to be careful the kind of friends I keep. Someone like Obi Kubana, that everybody knows that he's always carrying his wife on his head, he's very busy with his business. If I tell my wife, Obi is in town, I want to go and say hello to him, I want to go and see him, my wife will not complain. But you get the kind of friend where I go tell her and say, I want to go see. She go raise her eye. How responsible is your friend? What are her values? Then you also need to be careful because I, for instance, as a quote and unquote religious leader who has views that are different from the typical, people try to get to my wife and say, why are you marrying this Antichrist? Why are you following this Antichrist? So your wife has to be assertive enough to let her friends know that don't talk about him like that. That's not your business. Once they see that there is that weakness, imagine my wife to say, me too, I'm tired. It's just because of marriage. I said, all these things that he says, I don't believe in them. You understand. The friends now use that to plug in. So you need to understand that a marriage is like a boxing match where your opponent only hits your weak spots. Once your opponent don't hit one spot, you don't show, say, he pain you. They're going to target that spot. So once they notice weakness in your marriage, it might be in your religion, it might be in your sex life, it might be with your children, they will start hitting that place. Once it opens up, they are going in. And they go in faster and harder than you can imagine.
That's true.
So first things first is when I teach people marriage, the two of you are one. You understand? It's difficult to be one with yourself. Sometimes you get, just imagine you get 1 million naira, you won't buy phone and you won't pay for land. Only you get the money. You are not arguing with anybody, you're arguing with yourself. Should I buy the phone? No, I should buy the land. No, I should write. You can be on this thing for 1 week. That's you dealing with yourself. Now imagine dealing with a totally different entity. So, first of all, it's already difficult dealing with a woman or a woman dealing with a man. So, you have to try to bring them on board to the point where they feel relaxed with you. Opinions are going to be different. People are going to disagree. When they disagree, I was watching Blessing CEO earlier on today. She said it is very normal for healthy relationships to have disagreements. It does not mean you are not compatible. Nobody, you cannot be compatible with your parents. As a matter of fact, if my parents, if we were to pass compatibility tests, I don't think me and my parents will pass, because I know they understand waiting that they reason 90% of the time. And though that's my parents. So you have to learn how to deal with this person. Form a bond. It's very tough. Form a bond. Sacrifice, and you will be sacrificed for. You want to be in a relationship with your wife. You don't want your wife to have friends, but you go out to watch football every evening. It can never work. It can never work. If you don't like the kind of friends your wife has, be ready to sacrifice your own too. If you don't like girls' night out, be ready to sacrifice boys' night out. Because me, I don't like girls' night out. I just stopped going out with my boys. Anytime I want to go out, I carry my wife, I carry the children, and we go out. I found these days that I do more family outings than even wife outing. Because once I want, hey, let me and you go somewhere, before you know, they don't drag children inside. Okay, let's all go, no problem. Sometimes I want to take the children out. You understand? Start working around those things. Because you cannot leave a woman at home to watch television while you are in the strip club. And then she now wants to go to the normal club. 2 days later, I say, no. No, it doesn't work like that. If you don't want her to go, you two are going to, you lead by example. You are not going to go.
Exactly.
In my house, I don't club. Simply because I'm not comfortable with my wife. I don't like the image. I don't like the look. I don't like it. It annoys me. But if me and my wife want to go clubbing, we get up and we go together. We have a car. We have nice cars, as a matter of fact. We drive to the club, have fun, come back home. I don't see anything wrong with it. Some men will go clubbing and not take their wives and have fun and drink and party, then come home and then tell their wives that the wives cannot go.
We have to have her full.
That is totally wrong. Do you understand? Then bond with your wife or your husband. Set goals every evening. Let me give you an example. I'm a beer parlor guy. I'm a cheap guy. When you call, my watch will be expensive, my car will be expensive, but I drink Budweiser and Heineken. All the champagne. It's not like I cannot drink it, but I don't think I've used my money to buy champagne before. And if I use my money to buy champagne, it's always cheap champagne because I have no value for it. I am a beer parlor boy. Do you understand? From Romania, where pastor they come bless the beer for the year. Then they come pastor to come bless the beer. By the time they finish cooking the drink, where they go drink that year, pastor will come bless them. That's so Igbo people be. Because for Bible, Christ drink alcohol. So Europeans, even British people, they know they joke with their beer. Beer now like water. There was a time when beer was not considered alcohol in Germany. Children could drink beer. I Google it now. So
I remember that time when Sassen Brown come Nigeria. People told to forget.
As a young man, I used to go to beer parlor a lot. Give me one issue, one shine bubble. I loved it. Somebody saying Nkwobi. As they sit down like this, they give you the Nkwobi. The Nkwobi must go with like 3 bottles. So that by the time you are done.
Of beer.
Yes. Now, because
before you reach there, you don't book the Nkwobi down. Otherwise, you don't go meet
down. You understand? And in my former marriage, because my ex had her own life by herself, I had my own life by myself. As I call from work, I go first stop for that beer parlor, drink 2 beer, 1 shebu. You understand? But you see, realizing my current relationship that I can't leave my wife at home and go and be drinking beer. So what did I do? I brought the beer to the house. As I'm older now, I have to watch my cholesterol level, so I can't eat Nkwobi every day. Beer doesn't really affect your cholesterol, but I still can't drink it every day. So
luckily to the chef. You got married to a chef.
So I have reduced my beer drinking to 3 days a week, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I don't drink during the week at all. Once in a while, maybe I go out, I have a cocktail or something, but even that I try to avoid. They say Pete is in the house, so do I have to be lover? I hear you. So, since I would not be, I know my wife will not be comfortable. Where are you? I'm in the beer parlor. Where are you? Then tomorrow she will say she wants to go and eat. She wants to go to the beer parlor too. It will turn something.
But
so what I just did, I brought the beer parlor home.
Do you think bringing beer parlor home, do you think it will be more interesting like you doing it outside? You know, sometimes you just meet at beer parlor with some strangers and you open a very good conversation and everybody will talk out loud like you know each other before.
That's the beauty of beer parlor. But you see, after a while, you will realize that you can get that same effect from Netflix. Put your wife beside you.
All the skits on social media will
do you understand?
as well.
My wife doesn't like beer. Once I start drinking it, she will bring a cup. Just give me a little. I mean, go come and say, no, this beer I don't gauge ham. I don't think give you out of ham. And guess what? I don't put beer in the fridge. If I put 6 in the fridge, I go drink the 6. As one in the fridge, I go bring the next one. And I'm getting older. I'm going to be 50 in 3 years, literally. So I cannot be drinking beer the way I was drinking it when I was 25. I will not drink and get drunk. I will not say I've not gotten drunk before. That's how I went to see one of my guys in the UK. One of these last trips I went to the UK. They were just giving me one cocktail that they called the cocktail bomb. I'd be some crazy name. I just sit down, they drink the cocktail, but I drink like 6. I don't know. I think it's not just normal cocktail. First of all, when we're going home, they brought a McLaren to take me home. I sat inside the McLaren. I wanted to do live video, say, guys, see McLaren. Oh boy, as I entered the McLaren, I sit down, like I sleep till we reach house. Now, that's where I knew that there was a problem. We can't reach the house. I can't climb upstairs. I just want to say everywhere they spin. Then I entered my bedroom, and I don't know what happened. I think I sneezed or something. Then the room was spinning like this in half circles. Boom. It was, as you know, when the room is spinning like this, the room will spin like halfway, like my brain had a bad sector. Like, like city they skip. I'm not joking, I said I was going, so I just sat down where I was. I just put my hand inside my throat. I just started vomiting by myself. When I finished, I washed my face. I did a live that day. Anybody who watched that live knew that I was not normal. I was just misyanning.
I remember.
I was just misyanning. I don't know anything. Now when I reach house, that guy will serve me those cocktails. Till today, I know they. If you give me water, I don't go collect them. His name is Daniel. If you give me water, I don't go drink them. He just give me. And those cocktails were not cheap. It was like, you want another one? And the thing was sweet. I was like, yeah, give me another one. Yeah, yeah. By the time I was done. So where am I going with this? Sometimes you make your house fun.
Your comfort zone.
Make your house your comfort zone. Hey, we don't lose Samaria. You make your house your comfort zone. Drink that beer at home. I don't get drunk normally. That's what I was trying to say. I can have 6 beers in the fridge, and I'll be drinking them one by one. Worst case scenario, I'll sleep and wake up with a headache the next morning. But that I will misbehave or fight, no. So I just make sure that if you come to my room, you see like 20 bottles of beer on the floor. Friday afternoon, I will put 2 in the fridge. 1 big one and 1 small one. Because if you leave
one and a half.
That's my gauge. So I don't like it when my wife drinks out because my belly will come gauge. So it will be like say the tank no full complete. If you understand, we sit down, we share suya, we share all these things. You make your house fun.
Well, I think age will allow you to do that, because sometimes the youthful, in us doesn't allow us to take that bold step, and depend on the woman you are with at times.
That is why I tell people,